What's up, guys? It's PDS. So we are fresh off of a Heroes Battle Phase win. They just won Battle Phase Friday. It was a very similar build. I'll post his list up and then I'll show you how I'm running it. So I honestly think Heroes is pretty decent right now, especially because of this card Minimum Ray. So Minimum Ray is a card that does not target, and when it's special summoned from the spell and trap zone, you can destroy one level 4 or lower monster your opponent controls. So that is really good against Harpies, because even if they have Swallow's Nest, because it doesn't target, you can still destroy whatever they bring out. So that basically ends their turn. And against a lot of decks too, you know, something like Triamid or even the Resonator deck, you can really interrupt them badly, especially if with this card. So you have an additional form of interaction with your opponent. So the main trade-off is just that you don't really get a follow-up. So, you know, when you have Increase, at least you have Vion, and then Vion sends Malicious or Vion sends Celestial, and then you set yourself up to draw 2. But when you do that with Minimum Ray, you know, you miss out that portion of the combo. But the beautiful thing is that you can still put him in the graveyard and then still have some form of interaction later on. So I really like that about this card. Definitely, if you guys are playing Heroes, you should really consider playing it. So yeah, so basically it's, you know, 3 Ferris, 3 Stratos, 2 Mali, 2 Increase, the Celestial, 2 Vion, Minimum Ray, and then Typhoons, Mass Change, Chalice, and Polymerization. And then the extra deck is, you know, Anki, Blast, Adoration, Trinity, and then Excalibur for the out to the Lunalight Saber Dancer. And yeah, so, you know, just for some budget options here for you guys, if you don't happen to have all these cards, right? So definitely this is pretty good card, but not mandatory. You know, you can run the deck without it, because you always have Stratos as back removal. And then I would honestly bump up this Chalice to 2. Maybe this would be a little bit more budget, right? Especially because the other interesting thing about this deck is actually, you know, I don't really find Book of Moon being much better than Chalice, just for this deck specifically, because Chalice gives you access to cheesing your opponent with Anki. So, you know, when you do the direct attack, it'll go to 3200. So I think it's really powerful in that aspect. And also, you leave monsters in attack position, which is really critical, you know, especially when you're trying to OTK with Adoration and Trinity. The other thing is the skill is Beatdown, and that's because normally you would you can tribute off Stratos with Increase to bring out you know, Vion, or Minimum Ray as well. You could also tribute off Stratos. But when you leave your Ferris up, when you have Ferris, Mali, and then one of your fusions, you're gonna have a 900 boost of Beatdown. That's really important, because on some matchups you really do need that every boost you can get, especially with the Lunalight matchup. So another thing I wanted to go into is, you know, obviously there's no Plasma in this deck list. I do recommend side decking it if you're playing in tournaments. That's another thing you can do if you're playing on the ladder. You know, you can just go 20 and then play your 20th card as a Plasma. It does come up for sure, and it's really powerful against some matchups like Melodious and Lunalights for sure. You definitely need something to just additional out to Bloom Diva or the Saber Dancer. So overall, I'd say Heroes are pretty decent right now. If you guys have them, you know, you don't have any new decks, I would definitely recommend taking another look at them. And yeah, I'll go show you guys the replays, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.
デュエル